I got this book for Christmas and I loved it. Becoming by Michelle Obama. Such a good read. On the surface, it is just really interesting. I mean, who doesn't want to know what it's like to live in the White House? Who doesn't want to know what it's like to be married to the President of the United States? And what's it like to have security trailing after you wherever you go? Well, and before you, for that matter. And when you're living in your own home, you can't even open your window to have a breath of fresh air. It was interesting hearing about her upbringing in Chicago, what her parents were like, what her schooling was like, and also the whole love story between her and Barack. That was kind of interesting as well. She's such a good writer. I just love the way she's able to really clearly articulate her feelings and her emotions without going overboard. Ugh, hate that. There's another layer to this book, and I reckon there's something in there for everyone. For me, there was heaps of stuff, but I thought I would just tell you about 3 things that really stood out to me. So the first thing is self-doubt. Now, Michelle is a high achiever. She's really smart. She sets herself goals and then she overachieves, and she did that right from kindy sort of age. So she knows what it's like to succeed, and she couldn't bear the thought of failing. So all the way through her schooling and her life, she was always super successful, but all the time she was questioning herself, am I good enough? And for me, hearing that, it was actually kind of comforting, because that's a question I ask myself all the time. So to hear somebody like Michelle wrestling with the same sorts of things I do, I kind of liked that. The other thing is fear. Now, there is a really great quote that she mentions a couple of times in the book. Failure is a feeling long before it becomes a result. Now, when I read that, I had to put the book down, I had to give it some thought, had to stare into space for a while, kind of let it process, because it's so true, isn't it? If you're in an environment where people don't believe in you, where you think that you're a failure, well, failing is just around the corner. It's just the way it is. Unless, of course, you decide to stand up and not believe that lie that's being fed to you. One of the biggest things I love about this book is actually the title, Becoming. Because for some reason in my head I had this idea that you find your dream job, you set yourself some goals, you achieve your goals, and then you've arrived. But no, that is obviously not how life works, and I love the way that looking at her life is a whole evolution. It's a whole process of doing different things and becoming yourself, becoming a better version of yourself, reaching forward and looking for new and better ways to be a new and better person. I thought that was really good. She articulated it really, really well. So I think everybody should read this book. There is something in here for everyone. And as I say, she's a great writer, and she's such a nice, kind, empathetic person. It's a good read.